The fans want to see blood, sweat, and tears. He's always in tremendous fights, and he's a very exciting knockout artist. And that's what boxing is about. It's about giving the people and the fans what they want to see.
Just coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past.
Saying have a fight, yes, but have it at 140. Fighting anyone at 140 would be more exciting than this fight against
Floyd Mayweather reviewed the matchup between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, highlighting Davis's power, speed, and experience. He acknowledged Roach's skill, but pointed out that he may struggle to withstand Davis's constant pressure and knockout potential.
But I must say this, the most exciting fighter that's active and fighting in boxing right now is Gervonta "Tank" Davis. When Gervonta "Tank" Davis go out there and fight, he reminds me of Pretty Boy Floyd. Because Pretty Boy Floyd, you couldn't go get no popcorn. You couldn't go get no soda. You couldn't go get no candy. You don't want to miss nothing.
You won't want to miss this. Esteemed boxing analyst Al Bernstein has raised doubts about Lamont Roach's chances against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Bernstein notes that Roach's past performances don't show the power needed to defeat a formidable fighter like Davis, who has an impressive record and multiple championships. This analysis has led many to question how competitive the upcoming fight will truly be.
One coming up in a month, another guy you called several of his fights, Gervonta Davis, fighting Lamont Roach, is a significant favorite. Do you think Roach is being undervalued as an underdog, or it will probably go the way people think it will go?
Roach is coming up in weight. He came up in weight to him. I don't see. Honestly, I don't see him. He's a good fighter, but I don't see. He's nothing in his past tells me he's going to beat Gervonta Davis or even be competitive with him. And I'm not. It's not a denigration of Lamont Roach. He's a good fighter. He won a title at a lower weight, and that was a surprise to some people that he did get, even though he was a good prospect. So it's just hard to imagine him beating Davis.
The other Davis is fighting for a world title 2 weeks before in New York against Baranchik.
Oh yeah, Keyshawn Davis. That's a.
The upcoming fight between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach has sparked varied reactions, with some calling it a cherry pick due to Roach stepping up to 130 lbs. Former professional boxer DeWood Bay offers his analysis, focusing on the rich boxing history of Washington, D.C., and Baltimore. He believes Roach's team is strong and anticipates a competitive bout, rather than an easy victory for Davis. Bay also addresses Davis's prominent position in the sport, pointing out that criticism will persist unless he faces top-tier opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney. He forecasts an exciting DMV showdown filled with high-energy action.
Lamont Roach, a lot of people shitting on the fight. A lot of people saying it's a cherry pick. A lot of people saying that, or criticizing Tank for bringing Lamont up to 130. What's your thoughts on the fight?
I think if you understand the history of D.C. and Baltimore, and then I'm familiar with Roach and them camp a little bit, because I'm cool with people that's tight with them and stuff like that, so we all kind of encounter each other. I don't live nothing but 2.5 hours away, right? I wouldn't see none of them coming and laying down, and then Tank is Tank. I think you're going to get a DMV classic. Like, you're going to get a good fight. They're going to fight each other. Lamont going to fight Tank. You know what I'm saying? So for however long it lasts, or for however long the fireworks is, you know what I mean, going off, he going to fight him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he going to come out there to lay down. So, I don't know. I mean, people going to criticize you no matter what, though, once you get in, like, Tank position. It don't really matter what you do. Like, if you wasn't fighting, like, Shakur or Devin right now in this next fight, it's probably, like, 3 people he could be fighting, and nobody wouldn't have nothing to say. You understand what I'm trying to say? Not to say that some fights can't be, like, better than others or whatever, but yeah, if he wasn't fighting Devin, Shakur, or like Tiafimo, then somebody gonna say like it's a cherry pick or everything. I mean, everybody's a cherry pick. Leave it up to them.
The boxing community has raised concerns over Davis's choice of Lamont Roach as his next opponent. Critics argue that Davis is sidestepping tougher challenges against top-tier contenders like Shakur Stevenson. The The decision to face Roach, seen as a less daunting foe, has led to accusations of cherry-picking and ignited debates about Davis's willingness to prove himself against the best in the division.
At the 135 will probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
And what is it about him? Because I know he have a lot of good attributes, but do you think he has enough power?
Well, it's really all about skills. Pernell Whitaker wasn't a huge puncher, but he was, very exciting, very tough, and he fought everybody. And Shakur is trying to do the same thing. He want to fight the best they got out there. He's asking, can he fight the best? I believe his contract is coming to an end, so hopefully we can come together and I can take him to that next level and give him the fights that he needs.
Despite being a world champion, Lamont Roach remains relatively unknown to the general public, which fuels the perception that Davis has selected an easier opponent. However, Roach's supporters believe his underdog status could play to his advantage, as opponents may overlook his abilities in the ring. Shields recognizes Roach's potential but highlights Davis's proven track record and formidable skill set.
So Lamont Roach is a good fighter, but and I'm happy to see a fighter like Lamont Roach, who's had to come up the blue collar way, get a big opportunity, get a big payday. But now that I've said that, it's an underwhelming fight, and everybody's saying that because it's true. And this is a fight that would have made more sense for Gervonta Davis a couple years ago, back when Gary Russell was rumored as an opponent. And this would be, like a good DMV rivalry, two guys from the DMV area. But in 2024, when Tank's already headlined a lot of pay-per-views, it's underwhelming. And, before the Gervonta Davis fans try to come at my throat, I get it. Lomachenko walked away from the table. Of course, that's after, some years earlier of Tank saying he wasn't interested in that fight. Fight was never officially negotiated by Top Rank or PBC, but for years, Gervonta had no real intention of fighting Lomachenko, and now Lomachenko has walked away from the table now that the fight's available. I understand that. I understand Shakur Stevenson really is opting more the Williams Zepeda route. I understand that Teofimo Lopez has only really called Davis out once the Lamont Roach fight was really being talked about around Canelo Berlanga fight week and was close to probably being finalized.
De La Hoya agrees, calling Tank a beast and suggesting that while Roach is a skilled fighter, facing Davis will present a significant challenge, potentially making for a tough night for Roach.
Terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter. He's a dedicated fighter when it comes to training and fighting and making sure that he's in optimal conditions when he steps inside that squared circle. It's going to be a tough night for Roach, but you can never count him out. Watching him fight up close and personal, he's sneaky good, which means he can catch you at any time. He can land combinations sometimes at will without you even knowing it. He's that sneaky. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But obviously Gervonta Davis has the experience, he has the knowledge, he has that mean streak in him that will take you out with any